All right, guys, today let's talk Revo. And it's not one we get into a whole lot, but more of the adventure style glasses. This is the Traverse with the full side shield. Let's take a look at it and see if it's one you need in your collection. If you're probably here, it is. Just throwing that out there. Now, for starters, before we dive into all that, if you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you can stay up to date on the latest reviews we're doing of some of the coolest eyewear in the industry. A lot more exclusive stuff than you'll find anywhere else. And we also talk about fit adjustment, some of the technicalities with prescription lenses, and how to deal with that. So, a lot of aspects to keep in mind. But we have fun with it, or at least I have fun with it. I hope you enjoy it. Anyways. Maybe you get something out of this. This is the new Traverse from Revo. There are not a whole lot of true adventure-focused glasses out there. We've talked about the Varney Glacier before, which is an incredible bit of kit, but we don't work with them anymore. Anyway. These, you have that nice leather side shield. Actually, I don't know if that's a true leather. It's a good question. There's not a grain to it at any rate, so I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, the frame itself, incredibly lightweight, seems to be a nylon base with the hinges there nicely injected. There is a screw down at the bottom there holding it all together. So, not a huge fan of nylon frames in general. In this case, for the use of this, I think it's a really good choice because it's going to keep it really lightweight, very strong, gives it some flex to hold onto the frame. Nylon generally isn't going to display the brittleness we see in acetates in extreme temperatures, extreme cold temperatures. Heat can shrink it a bit, but we're talking heat you're not going to be standing in. I'm talking like next to lava heat. This is not something you're going to be wearing in that situation, I hope. Now, this is the H2O lens in these, not the photochromic H2O. This is the true H2O mirrored. So it is that very soft blue mirror over a nice warm, kind of a brown base. I don't think it's a true brown so much as it is shifted nice and warm from that H2O mirror design. Now what's cool with the Revo's lenses are encased mirror designs. So you're not going to scratch up and flake that mirror like a lot of the other manufacturers you will find out there. Really clean on the fit on these. It is a little bit larger size, but with these side shields, you get that total blackout. I cannot see this camera at all, but I can right there. I can get into and see. So you still have a pretty nice, you have a pretty nice peripheral field of view just because of the shape and the wrap of these. You have full bridge protection here, no piece to remove and lose, and gives you that full coverage. Nicely seated on the bridge. Overall sizing, of course, with these sunglasses, a lot of times it's not stamped in there, so I can't just look and glance and cheat. These, it actually happens to be. It is a 57 eye size 19 bridge, so nice large lens. As I mentioned, it's going to give us that strong peripheral field of view. Now, if you're not a fan of the side shields, this is still a nice little bargain of a frame because these side shields are fairly easily removable just like that. It clips in here. I'll show you on the other side when we go to put this one in actually because they're not super easy to put back in, but it does come off very easily. Opens up the field of frame, allows some airflow through here, and that does open up your peripheral the rest of the way. Really cool frame. I kind of love the dual purpose of frame like this because you have both that full coverage or the more fashionable frame, whichever you kind of choose for the situation. Unlike the 9-base sport wraps that are full coverage, full aggressive all the time, you don't really get that fashioning look. Now, if you want to throw your side shields back on, you have them in your pocket, you didn't smash them up and break anything, you just slip that little pouch over the end tip there, slide it back to the front. Don't mix up your left and right because these are not marked and you will sit and fight for hours to get it. There is a little pinhole down on the bottom and a little pin here. Seat that guy back in from the bottom. You definitely want to stick your thumb to hold that one in because when you go to do this top one, it's a little bit fidgety. It is a nice springy material, but then it is seated back in just that easily. Pull this back in, Push it back down there, and everything seats nicely. And of course, the temples do open and close nicely with those in or out. As I mentioned, extremely lightweight feel on the face. I'd say medium to large. A smaller face won't benefit with these as much. At least you won't get that full coverage with a little bit smaller, more petite face. The lenses, the H2O lenses, are a polarized lens. This one is made in Italy, so who knows? No comment there. But one thing you don't really catch right off, and I do like, I just noticed this putting these back in. There is a nice little lip and ridge here that this seats down into, and you can definitely see that on camera really cleanly. So when that is fully fitted back around that edge, it actually is sealing really nicely. So you're not going to get much airflow. They did think this served really well. To keep the cost down, make it a good, clean design, I'd say this is going to compete against any of the Julbo Adventure Suns very easily. A little bit higher price point than the Julbo, but a little bit nicer lenses as well. Definitely one in the collection. If you need that more adventurous pair for blocking the wind or snow or whatever else is going on, you want still kind of that clean, fashionable look, more dual utility. It's a very dark lens too in the H2O if you're not familiar with it. That is something to keep in mind. Yeah, I'll have links down below to grab them from my store. That's all I've got. Let me know your thoughts on these. If the adventurer style glasses are your thing, I have a few of them. I like them. It's pretty cool. Anyways, everyone should have one in their pair or in their little rotation. Well worthwhile, because when you need it, it's not much of a replacement. Let me know your thoughts on it. I'll catch you guys next time.